Welcome to the next sprint. Meet Quinn, Apprentice Scrum Master. The purpose of this sprint is for you to meet Quinn, our Apprentice Scrum Master, whose story we'll be following throughout the program. By the end of this sprint, you will know what led Quinn to do an apprenticeship versus just a training, her apprenticeship roadmap and yours, and the results she got out of the program. So once upon a time, there was a talented, career-minded, aspiring Scrum Master named Quinn. But she worked in a soul-sucking job, not a Scrum or Agile environment. Every day, she felt a longing for something more, work that she loved, but she wasn't sure what that looked like or how to get there. Until one day, she heard about the Scrum Master role in an Agile project management podcast. The host said, "Since I started Scrum Mastering, I feel respected and empowered at work." Because of that, Quinn decided to learn more about Scrum Mastering. She did a webinar and some YouTubes. Because of that, she realized that Scrum is a way of working based on courage, focus, commitment, respect, and openness. That made her wonder, would being a Scrum Master feel less soul-sucking? Would I like it better? So Quinn decided to take a Scrum Master course. That's how we met. I was her instructor. But back at work, it was hard. Hard to apply and hard to get the working experience she needed to get a full-time Scrum Master job. She even said to me, "Kelly, the class was good, but it wasn't enough to turn me into a Scrum Master or get me the job. I need something more." I've realized that learning to be a Scrum Master is less like learning to ride a bike and more like learning to play the guitar. You learn it best through experience and practice. I said, "You're right. Based on my 20 years in Agile, it takes an apprenticeship." She asked, "But what would a Scrum Master apprenticeship even look like?" I said, "It's like mentoring. You learn alongside a seasoned pro. You watch how they do things, then you start to try pieces on your own, little by little." She stood up a little taller and said, "Let's do it." So Quinn and I created the Scrum Master Apprenticeship Program. It's for people just like her, like you maybe, if you took a Scrum Master course, but you need more to actually be able to do it and to get the job. Since we both like the outdoors, we designed the apprenticeship program as an expedition map with several base camps. We designed a route for Quinn to travel from base camp to base camp, and we made each camp a practical step towards actually becoming a Scrum Master, like learning to lead sprint planning, Scrumify her resume, optimize for LinkedIn, Agile networking, and Scrum Master interview prep and salary negotiation. We built each camp to carry her to higher and higher apprenticeship levels and accomplishments. At the first base camp, Quinn watched me actually doing Scrum on a real initiative. That became the Practice Your Basics Base Camp, and that got her started practicing small pieces in manageable learning chunks. But after getting a chance to practice her basics at the first base camp, Quinn realized, gosh, if there's no metric, it's like it didn't happen. Kelly, what can we do about that? So because of that, we created the Metrics Base Camp. There, she learned to create the two simple metrics all Scrum Masters need: velocity and burn down. Because of that, she started feeling more confident and started to look for job postings. But the problem she ran into was they all asked for real-life experience as a Scrum Master. To address the fact that all the job postings Quinn found asked for that real-life Scrum Master experience, we created a base camp on how to get experience. We created ways for her to actually get real experience, even in her current non-Scrum job, and even in her latest at-home project, painting the porch with her kids. Because of that, she started to feel a lot more confident about applying for Scrum Master jobs. But after racking up some Scrum Master experience in her current job, through volunteering and at home, she said to me, "Kelly, I'm starting to realize that Scrum Mastering means working with people. Sometimes people who have different opinions, whether colleagues or kids. How do I deal with that?" I said, "I totally agree. Let's create a base camp on soft skills like active listening and powerful questions. That's what makes you stand out compared to other interview candidates. And that's what actually helps you succeed on the job. So after the first few base camps, Quinn realized she wanted more. She saw that Scrum Mastering offered her a way of working where she could bring her whole self to work. It was fulfilling and respectful, and she felt like she was constantly growing. So 1 month into the program, she decided she wanted her job to be all Scrum all the time, not just when she could fit it into her soul-sucking job. Because of that, she decided to really go for full-time Scrum Master jobs. But she realized, yikes, my resume doesn't reflect my new Scrum Master skills. So to fix that, we created the Scrumify Your Resume Base Camp. And Quinn hadn't been sure how to present herself on her resume, and since I am a professional career coach, I created a cheat sheet with steps for her on how to Scrumify her personal brand and then use that on her resume in networking and interviews. And to help Quinn Scrumify her personal brand and use it on her resume, networking, and in interviews, we made the next base camp, How to Create Your Personal Brand, how to brand yourself as a Scrum Master. And so Quinn's Scrumified personal brand statement gave her a kickstart to do Agile networking, because by then she'd learned that she needed help from others. I told her, Quinn, you worked so hard on your resume, but did you know that more than 90% of job hunters get their jobs through networking versus through their resume? She said, I'm in, show me how to do it. So we made the next base camp Agile networking. And because of that, she learned to do Agile networking, from Agile meetups to calling into podcasts and webinars and using LinkedIn groups. So once Quinn got some practice at networking, I said, speaking of LinkedIn, there's a million ways you can use it to grow your career and get jobs. She said, I've heard that, but where do I even start? So we created a base camp on how to optimize her profile for LinkedIn, plus ways to prep for interviews. She learned LinkedIn tricks like learning different keywords to catch the attention of the AI job search bots. And she practiced answering common Scrum Master interview questions using the games and exercises in the program. And guess what? Within 3 weeks of Scrumifying her resume and networking style, she got 5 interviews. She even called me up and said, Kelly, I went into those interviews a little nervous at first, but I ended up getting 2 offers for almost double my salary. Congrats, I said. How are you going to celebrate? She said, dinner and date night with my husband. But after accepting one of the job offers, Quinn texted me the following Monday morning. She said, Kelly, I'm new at this and I really want to succeed. What tips could you give me to keep in mind in my first 3 months on the job? So to set Quinn up for success in her new Scrum Master job and get her off to a good start, we created a bonus section called Top Tips to Succeeding in Your First 3 Months on the Job. It covers stuff like how to lead sprint planning, team building games, listening before you talk, and learning the culture. 3 months later, Quinn made a guest appearance at my live weekly coaching call for program participants. She brought inspiring news. She told us, everybody, this program got me my Scrum Master job. I feel confident now and I love what I do. Okay, so the purpose of this sprint was for you to meet Quinn, whose story we'll be following throughout the program. By now you should know what led Quinn to do an apprenticeship versus just a training, her apprenticeship roadmap and yours, and the results she got from the program. In the next sprint, we'll talk about how you can get the most out of this apprenticeship program.